Every single person that has ever said that the Democratic Party likes to lose, you're absolutely right. These dudes are fucking losers. So the Democrats are going to be taking on Donald Trump in 2024. And they understand that to beat him, you need a galvanizing candidate that can truly take him on. And you need someone that is the opposite of him. So, not pushing for government incompetence, not someone who's involved in a bunch of scandals. You need a clean-cut candidate that can bring people together and has been able to adequately run whatever government they've dealt with. Cool. A good statesman, an ideal statesman. These coons allow for Joe Biden to keep running even though he's dying. Like, Joe is cooked. Joe's so senile, he don't know where he is. And Joe keep running till Joe can't run no more. Cool. You would think, oh, you have a convention, you have some nominees, you have some, a race happen, people vote. No convention, no votes, no nothing. You just make Kamala Harris, who has terrible approval ratings across the board when she ran, and you're like, yeah, we're going to run the cop. We're going to run the cop. And we're going to run the cop that no one really likes as president. Cool. Now, this is where it got really stupid. You not only run the cop, as the cop's VP, you run the guy that was in charge of a state as governor and allowed it to be defrauded of $1 billion. The largest fraud case that has happened so far with COVID relief money. And I get it. COVID relief money has been getting defrauded by everyone, but this is the worst case as of date. And this has been going on for 5 years. This isn't a Trump administration thing. This New York Times article is just bringing to light something that has been going on for years now and has been in courts for years. And you would think like they would have the brilliant idea of staying away from someone like this because this could be used as ammunition against him on a campaign trail. And if it ever came out while you're in office, it's going to make your party look like a fucking joke because you stood behind this goddamn schmuck who's literally, if you read this article, was getting bullied by Somalians. Now, that's not a reflection of the entire Somalian community, but it's hilarious to think that this schmuck, like looking at him, he kind of looked like Tom Hanks. And I can imagine the Somalians were pulling up on him like, hey, these are my COVID relief funds now. Like, like, bro, I can see a world where that happened. You're just getting bullied because you're too afraid to hold people accountable to the letter of the law because you don't want to lose their political support and you don't want to seem racist and as if you're targeting a minority group. Wow, you're such a schmuck. You're such a loser. You're so spineless. My God. Like, this is such loser behavior. Like, bro, look, the feds had an entire investigation done on this state and these people and this governor to see how much he actually knew, because this is incompetence from the top bottom. And this entire article is talking about the fact that they're getting red flags from the beginning and did nothing out of fear of being called the racist. Like, oh my God, you're such a joke. But this is the worst part about it. This is the part that I had to really sit down and realize, like, it connected in the moment. Bro, the cop, VP, Kamala Harris, she's under Joe Biden in 2022. That's when this investigation was really kicking off. That means Tim Walz in the state of Minnesota got investigated by Kamala and Biden. That means Kamala Harris knew everything about Tim Walz, and she still said, hey, let me run this schmuck who can't even run a government the size of Minnesota without getting bullied and defrauded by some Somalians as my VP. Let me repeat that. Kamala Harris ran as her VP. The guys whose state she had been investigating for the biggest fraud case when it comes to COVID relief funds. Like, if you want to lose, just say that. Why waste our time? Why virtue signal when you're just going to be this much of a hypocrite? Like, my God, every single person that was involved with this election, every single person that pushed this candidate, I'm looking at you crazy now. You're a joke in my eyes. Because this was known. CNN was reporting this last year. If you read through this article last summer, while they're on the campaign trail, this, Like, this schmuck is like in the process of having people in his state being prosecuted in a jury, in a trial. Like there is a whole like thing happening here. And there are people bribing jurors. Jurors are being bribed in a case of fraudulent activity in Minnesota. And you still decided to run this guy? And no one cares. There's no outcry. Democratic Party has not called this guy out. They've not called Kamala out. It's just crickets. We're just gonna ignore this and move on. And this is why no one takes your government serious. This is why people don't vote. It's why no one cares. Because this is a joke. It's a sad joke. Don't tell me Trump sucks, which he does. And don't tell me he's unethical, which he is. And don't tell me he's inhumane, which he is. When you are going to allow the president of the United States, well, let me word that better. Don't tell me that when you're going to allow Kamala Harris to run as president of the United States, the highest honor in this country, the highest position, and she's going to put her VP as the governor she was investigating, because as governor, this individual allowed his state to be defrauded of $1 billion. Don't knock on my door and virtue signal me, bro. You're full of shit just like everyone else is. You have no moral high ground to stand on. And you're just as big of a joke as the president is. And this really just shows you neither party has any intention of sending their best. They're sending their worst. And the party system of standing by, your colleagues and not allowing the party to fall in reputation, yeah, that bullshit mantra is what allowing this bullshit to continue on. Because right now, every single person from both aisles should be calling out this ridiculous behavior. This is insane. Bro, she ran the guy. She ran the guy she was investigating.